大家好，新年快乐. Welcome back, YouTubers. Happy New Year. Chinese New Year went really well. There's no major outbreaks. After all the hype and the excitement suggesting there could be a major outbreak across China because of massive travel across the country. The government actually was able to very quickly trace and control and contain the virus problems that were about in several cities across China, which even before Chinese New Year actually began, before the migration began, I think most people felt maybe it's not going to be so bad. The broad travel restrictions definitely upset a lot of people. They caused some issues. A lot of people haven't been back to their homes to meet their families for possibly in the last 2 years, because the last Chinese New Year was very similar. Most cities last Chinese New Year were also shut down. Borders were closed. Chinese got about their business. People stayed local, followed the guidelines, the recommendations, the requests. Yet we were free to travel. There was no actual restrictions put on any of us by the government, which I think is very interesting. Chinese supported the whole thing because they genuinely support each other. They support the country and trying to make sure together there is no major outbreak of the virus. A little different in some other countries. People still carry on. The communist country, the China government has the ability to just stop everything, clamp down and restrict everything, and like it's a 100% policed society. But that's not true. This Chinese New Year, there was no actual restrictions or containment at all. There was requests which people followed willingly. You ask any local Chinese, did they think it was a good idea? Most of them agree. By far, the majority of them agreed. Some not very happy, but they agreed to follow the rules, follow the guide, not the rules. Chinese didn't get together in any massive gatherings. They kept wearing masks if they had to go out. They restricted their travel to shopping centres. They shopped online a lot more. Some companies even supported the process, helped employees get a little bit of time off earlier to enable them to go and get the shopping done. Because during Chinese New Year, basically shops are shut. Everything's shut down for 5 days. And this year, because of the virus restrictions and the travel wasn't going to be so rampant, some companies stopped earlier, which is very interesting. Chinese families still locally could get out, go to the local parks, climb mountains, go congregate at the beach. Didn't go swimming, it's a bit too cold here in Qingdao, but they certainly congregated at the beach. You can see lots of videos online, and I didn't go myself. We enjoyed time with family, spent time at home, and very close to home. It's been a very relaxing week. It's now almost the end. The official Chinese New Year festive period finishes the Lantern Festival, which is on the 26th. And but most people now are getting back to work. We're all back to work here now. Back to work, back to business. People are happy to be back. And as we come back to work, people are still following the restrictions, the guidelines, wearing masks, checking temperatures. Even today, we had to go into the Qingdao city as part of the visa renewal process. And entry to the government facility there was quite extreme. Show your healthy code in your phone, got to wear the mask, got to record your details, step by step, to even drive into the car parks. Every person in the car has to show their healthy code and be registered to get into the government building where, you know, visas and a lot of other types of things are registered. So even though there's no major outbreaks here, there's actually 0 cases now reported since, 2 weeks ago, before the Chinese New Year started. The cases were contained. People are still now following the guidelines and trying to protect one another, which I think is an awesome thing. I'd like to praise all of the Chinese that did actually support the government's guidelines and recommendations. It's very tough for some of them not being able to see their families. You know, Chinese New Year is the annual event, is the annual 5 to 10 days of celebrations where a lot of people, it's the only time they get to see their families. It's the biggest holiday time and period of the year. But the Chinese were still happy to support each other, respect each other, and care for each other in taking some precautions, looking after their family and looking after others, which is a beautiful thing when you're living together in a busy country with so many people living so close together. But the important message I want to get across today is just the fact that between provinces, which is a bit like between the states in Australia, or between the different states in America, or the different countries in Europe, China did not need to restrict anybody, did not need to put actual border controls and tight restrictions and close any borders. The Chinese were able to support the objective, support the idea, and support each other together. This is how things work in China. People are not here oppressed and terrified of the government. People actually listen. They work together to help each other for the better of the overall society. So, COVID-19, it's basically under control still, even though we have a few flare-ups, a few little cases in different cities at different times. There is a general confidence across all of China that the Chinese government and the Chinese people will support a similar concept on trying to contain it and care for each other, which is a very comforting thought when you're actually out there doing things every day and you have to go and work among the people. So I thank you all. I thank you all, the Chinese, for your help and support in keeping this virus under control. Wish you all best for the year of the ox. This year I think is going to be another incredible recovery year, as 2020 has already been for China. 2021, it's already happening. I'm excited to be here and be part of it. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and you can catch up on my next COVID updates. Take care.